Hello and welcome to the Golf Swing, the weekly fix. My name's Mark Crossfield. We've got some swings coming at you here from my iPhone app called Golf, which is just here. These guys have sent me their swing through the app. We're going to give them some help with their early extensions, so their spine angles, straightening and what have you. So we're going to give them some help with those. Also in the show we got a message through the app here. It's a clever way of using it. Rather than a swing, he sent a message asking me about golf grips, how to get the right grip if you've got small hands. So we're also going to talk about that. Little note as well for everyone watching the show, this is the Golf Swing, the weekly fix goes up to YouTube every Tuesday, so check it out every Tuesday. If you want to get involved in the show, get your swing on the show, there's an opportunity on the 27th of December, the show being posted that week. I will be collecting the swings from my fan page on Facebook. So if you go to Facebook here and go to my fan page, Mark Crossfield, AskGolfGuru, post a swing up there on the fan page. I'll pull a selection of the best ones off, and they will be included on the 27th of December issue of this show. So if you want to get there and post those, that'd be great. If you're watching in the future, maybe just go to the page and like it anyway. But post your videos there before the 27th of December, and hopefully you'll get included in the next show. Let's get out there and get stuck in. So what we're seeing from these clips is we're seeing people pushing their hips towards the ball. This is a really, really common issue with golfers. It's a lot to do with flexibility. I think it's a lot to do with understanding where your body should turn as well and how your body should turn, and very much the relationship between how it should turn on the backswing to the downswing to the follow through. So what kind of percentages, how big your hips should move on each points of those of the golf swing. So what we see from each player is their hips pushed towards the ball. Also the club then gets rerouted a little bit more on the inside because of this, because the spine angle straightens, so that makes a flatter angle of attack. And an impact position that's just simply not very open, not very cleared, not very through the ball. They're kind of hitting from behind the ball. So there's quite a few drills we can use to try and get this fixed. And I also want you to start thinking about the way you're turning your hips. Actually, if I was to ask you a question about how much your hips should turn on the backswing in relationship to the follow through, it'd be interesting to hear what your answers are. Often people get this idea the wrong way around. So let's get stuck in. So what we're seeing is we're seeing the classic early extension, as it's called, where you get to the top of your backswing quite successfully and you start your downswing by pushing your hips forward and forward. So you're thrusting towards the ball. That straightens your spine angle up, flattens your angle of attack, gets you an impact position which is quite square on, where you'll see a better player retaining their posture and opening up. Now, first thing, to retain your posture and open up on the way through takes more flexibility than the average bear has got. So you've got to be quite mobile and flexible to do this, which all of you look like you are. So a couple of easy drills to think about. I've done this one before in other videos. So loosening up, what I'd like you to do, just set yourself up to the ball that you're going to hit your shot, keep the club by the ball, try and keep your shoulders pretty square, and just open up your hips before you hit the ball. So really feel how far you can get your hips opening while keeping your shoulders quite square. That will give you a bit of feeling of stretching, and then as you hit your shot, try and create that same feeling of open up your hips. That's quite a good drill to try and do this. Another good drill as well, hit balls doing this. If I hit one from this tee, just one hand shots, right hand, hold slightly down the handle. What you want to do is just a little gentle turn on the way back, but if you want to put any hit into this ball, you're going to have to really open up on the way through. So a great way of trying to feel how the downswing, the opening up, the turning through the ball can actually create the power. And the main thing for you all, which I'd like you to really concentrate about, is, and lots of people need to think about this, is the relationship between how far your hips turn on the backswing to how far they're going to turn on the way through. So in my head, as I'm hitting a shot, the backswing turn with my hips is very minimal. It's restrictive. It's relatively tight. My shoulders turn, but my hips try to hang on. But then on the downswing, the turn with my hips is big. It's ample. It's full. It's as full as I can make it. So I think in my head, I'm thinking about it the opposite way around, maybe to you guys. You guys look like you're all very willing to turn this way, quite free. They're not really very willing to turn this way, and I understand that. It's a lot to do with not feeling like you're going to hit a straight shot maybe, so standing there and opening your hips on the way through often it makes it feel like you're throwing yourself at the ball a little bit more, so you're a bit reluctant to do that. But if you get that control on the way back, it doesn't feel like this. It just feels like you're springing into it. So in my mind, what I'm thinking about, trying to keep my hips pretty neutral on the way back, 30, 40 degrees worth of turn, which is tiny when you actually break it down. It's just kind of here, still letting my shoulders go. But then on the follow through, I'm trying to get my hips right round to the left of the target. So not pointing at the target. Old videos always say buckle towards target. My hips are actually turning beyond that point. They're pointing left of the target. They've opened up more than where the target is. So it's more about getting into your mind how your body should be turning, so which way it should be turning. So for me, I'm thinking about trying to turn less this way with my body, certainly my hips, shoulders still turn. Then on the way through, I'm trying to open up to beyond the target with my hips, really trying to hit the ball with my hips already open, and then that will stop any kind of flipping of my hands. It allows me just to bring the club through my body turn. So it's less on the way back, and then really opening up on the way through. Give that a practice, guys. Let me know how you get on. I'd be really interested in hearing. It's a very common problem. It's got to do some stretching. This is a great way to get your hips turning without your shoulders moving. You'll feel your back loosening up doing that. And certainly think about the relationship between your hip turn on the backswing to the follow through. I think you might be finding you're thinking about it the wrong way. Big turns this way and then just hit the ball. It's got to be less this way, more this way to get successful shots. Let me know how you get on.
Hello Mark, could you please show me a grip for small hands with short fingers? Because the grip of your grip video is too loose for me. Thanks.
Okay, great way of using the app with a question. Golf grip. So look, for me, if you're finding that when you're trying to do the right grip, your hands are too small, then the first thing I'd be asking is maybe your grips are too thick. So if you've got clubs which are right for your hands, the club shouldn't feel too small. But even a junior, I mean, if you had a grip which is as thin as the shaft, even something like an 8-year-old junior upwards would be able to grip that and still get their hands in the right place. But look, the three variations you've got on the grip, you've got the interlock, so you've got the interlock, the overlap, and then the baseball 10-finger grip. Baseball 10-finger grip is the easiest if you've got very small hands and your grips are too thick. So if your grips are the right thickness, then you should really be thinking about using the overlap, where the little finger overlaps onto the first finger of the left hand, or interlocking. Interlocking, again, ideally people say that's better for people with small hands where the overlapping is harder. I've got very small hands as well. I do find the overlapping a little less secure, where I find the interlocking more secure. But for me, again, if I wanted to use the overlapping and the grips felt too big, I would change my grips, get thinner ones on there. So for me, have a look at your grips. If you find your hands can't fit, it's because you're either doing the grip not quite right, or because the grip is too thick. And if the grip is too thick, get it to your local pro shop, get them to put a thinner one on. They can stretch them, make them thinner as well. So you can get, I mean, some clubs come with really thin shafts and thin grips on as well. So you can get around that. The other thing you might be finding is you're actually not quite doing the grip correctly, or you are doing the grip correctly, but because it's in such a different position, it feels so uncomfortable, and then in turn, less secure. I get lots of people who I change their hands to a neutral position opposed to a really strong position. So a neutral position, hand on the, say, right hand more on top of the club. It's a weaker position than their normal strong position, but it is a neutral grip. But because it's weaker than where they were, it then in turn feels weaker as they hit. So it's not a weak grip, it just feels weaker than where they were. So it's relative to where you start from. So main point really, if your grips are feeling, if you can't feel that you fit your hands on the club when doing the grip correctly, or it doesn't feel secure enough, get your grip thickness checked. Grip thickness as well can be a little bit personal preference. There's no cast iron rules of this. You've just got to feel comfortable with it. And then the other thing is maybe you've got your grip in a more neutral position, moving from a stronger to a more neutral position, and that's why it feels less secure. That's just a case of trusting it a bit more, trusting the information, trusting your hands in the right place, and playing with it to get it to feel the norm. Thanks for sending the question. Hope that helps. Thanks for watching, guys. Hope this helps. This show is posted every Tuesday. Remember, if you want to get on the 27th of December, I think it is, Tuesdays between Christmas and New Year, get onto my fan page on Facebook and post your videos there. Thanks for watching. We'll see you all soon.